Hey guys, it's Miss Guy, and we have arrived at the final leg of Soc 213, which is our book study of The Other Wes Moore. So let's get started. What does this book study look like? What am I going to ask you to do? What do you need to pay attention to? For starters, I want to bring your attention to the late work policy. The late work policy for this course specifically states that journals are not part of the late work policy. That also includes the journals that go along with this book study. Therefore, no part of this book study is accepted late. So I want to be clear about that. These assignments are going to be open well in advance of their deadline. And I would encourage you to make sure that you are staying on top of deadlines, understanding that you are going to have to read or listen to entire chapters for each session in order to complete the journal assignments. So you need to be hyper aware of this expectation because you are not going to be allowed to submit late work for these journal assignments, and this portion of the course is worth a nice chunk of your final course average. So with that being said, let's get started. So to begin with, yes, you are going to be required to read the book, The Other Wes Moore. But when I say read, I have a couple of options for you. There is an audiobook version of this book that you can listen to. I have provided you that for free via this Moodle page. There is also a PDF version that you can read on your screen, or you can print out somewhere and read on paper. Or there are many libraries, public libraries, where you could check this book out and read it if you just enjoy holding a book. Any of those options are free for you, and they are just your choice. So however you prefer to read or interact with text is totally up to you. So I've tried to provide you multiple ways to interact with this book. If you choose to use the audiobook, I want to explain to you how this audiobook site works because it's a little bit different. So when you click on the link audiobook site, you are going to see, let me expand this here for you. You're going to see that the audiobook for The Other Wes Moore is broken down into 7 different sections, okay? What I have done for you is provided an audiobook guide. So it looks like this right here on the screen, this blue and white. But I am going to open this up for you, okay? And the audiobook portion will be in red. Then the table of contents here in the center will tell you where or what chapter or part of the book it is. And then the timing is on the right-hand side. Let me jump back over here and show you. I have numbered the audiobook site here for you. So the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, and the 7th portion of that audiobook is what you will see in the guide. So if you need to get started with chapter 2, for example, we'll talk about chapter 2. You will go to the 2nd portion of that audiobook site, so not the first line, but the 2nd line. And in getting ready to read chapter 2, you'll need to move to the 1 minute, 27 second point. And then chapter 2 will end at 43 minutes and 33 seconds. So hopefully, once you kind of get started in this, you'll understand how this guide is supposed to help you. Just for, let's say you're going to read chapter 6. All right, so you'll need to start on the 4th section of the audiobook site. So 1, 2, 3, 4th section down. And you'll need to start that audiobook at 44 minutes and 43 seconds. You'll listen until the end of that, and then you'll start the 5th section section of the audiobook site, and you'll listen until 15 minutes and 28 seconds. So hopefully that will be helpful to you as you are navigating through this site. And remember, the audiobook site has the book broken down into 7 parts, and that is the audiobook portion that you see here in red on the screen and here in red on this side. If that is a little confusing to you, just spend some time looking at the sites, because I realize I'm explaining it quickly in this email. All right, for the ease of this video, I am only making one video for this entire book study. And so I've just combined all of the journals here for you to see, okay? Your journals are broken out into multiple sessions, but you will see that when you get into Moodle, and you will see that on your deadline or due date document as well. But for the ease of this video, I've just collapsed them all together on this one screen. So what you will do is you will read or listen to each one of these sections or chapters in the book, and then you will be given a journal assignment to complete. Let me remind you that if you decide to continue reading ahead, because not all of the journals open up at the exact same time, that you need to make sure that you are taking super detailed notes as you are reading each chapter or each section. So when you get ready to do the journal assignment, you can reread your notes and refresh yourself. All right, I'm going to show you one example of the journal assignment, because you've done a lot of journal assignments for me thus far. So I'm only going to show you one example, and then all the others will follow suit. All right, for starters, journal assignments are to be answered in complete paragraph form. When I look at these journal assignments, I don't want to see a baby elementary school paragraph. I am talking college level writing here. You have read an entire chapter or an entire part of a book. You gotta write about it. So when you are writing, understand that the amount of the writing and how much in detail you expand and how much you reflect and incorporate what you have learned about sociology of the family into your writing is needed. Okay, so for the journal assignments, you already know how to format. So you're going to copy what's in between the dotted lines. You're going to click the Start or Edit My Journal Entry button, and you're going to paste into the entry box. All right, so for this first journal assignment, you only have to read or listen to the introduction and the part 1. So this is a short section. All right, so I'm asking you here, what have you already learned that both Westmores have in common? All right. Then I'm asking you, what are the differences you've already noticed about the two Westmores? Okay, so if you look ahead at the journal assignment, that may help you when you are actually doing the reading or the listening. So if you knew that those questions were coming, you could kind of coordinate that in your notes. Now, the third question is asking you, what are you thinking thus far into the first 13 minutes of the book? All right, so what's going on in your head? I just want to know, what questions do you have? What are you wondering about? What are you reflecting on? Have you seen anything already that correlates to things we've learned thus far in the semester? What might you be looking forward to? Okay, you're going to explain thoroughly. Every single one of these questions says explain thoroughly. That's because I'm looking for college level writing here. So a college level paragraph. I am looking for expansion here. When you are done with your responses, you are going to change them to a different colored font, and then you are going to hit that blue Save Changes button, and it is going to submit your journal entry. All right, I'm going to go backwards here because I'm going back to the main page. However, jump back down here. All right, so that is going to be the format for every single journal assignment that goes along with the other Westmore. Now, for just a moment, I want to kind of give you an overview of what this book actually is. All right, so this is a man named Wes Moore who is writing this book. The title is The Other Wes Moore because he actually finds another person with his same name. He follows this story and tries to understand how two people that are somewhat similar, somewhat from the same background, somewhat from the same area, can have such different lives. And so that is the entirety of this book. So it's talking about two people with the same name. So in your writing, when you are writing about them, you are going to use Wes Moore, the author. Okay, so when you write Wes Moore, in parentheses, you are going to put the author when you are talking about the author named Wes Moore. And then when you are talking about the other Wes Moore, who you will find out is incarcerated, he is in jail, you are going to write Wes Moore, in parentheses, incarcerated, or Wes Moore, in parentheses, in jail, okay? So that is how you are going to differentiate the two Wes Moores in your writing. And that is also how I'm going to know that you watched this directions video until the end, because when you don't use the labels of which Wes Moore you're talking about, I don't know which one you're talking about either. So if you have further questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I will be happy to Google chat with you, Google Meet with you, or answer your questions via email. But what I want to say to you is dive into this book and think about the differences between these two Wes Moores. Think about what happened to these two people. What were the deciding factors, the change elements in these two people's lives? And what can you do to make sure that you are the right change element in your children's lives or in the children's lives that are around you? As always, if you need me, I'm only an email away, and I hope that you enjoy your time in The Other Wes Moore.